Captain Laura Steele squinted through the smoke-filled sky, her heart pounding. The alien pet, its eyes shimmering with an otherworldly light, lay huddled at her feet, whimpering. "We either save this creature," she said, her voice rough with determination, "or we lose everything." Leading her group of weary refugees through the smoky ruins of the devastated planet, Laura's senses were on high alert. The air was thick with ash, and every step felt like a journey through a graveyard. Her sharp, vigilant eyes scanned the horizon for any sign of danger or resources. Her heart ached for her people, children clinging to their parents, elders struggling to keep up. Amid the rubble, a faint whimper caught her attention. Laura motioned for silence, her hand raised. The group halted, eyes wide with curiosity and fear. She followed the sound, stepping over broken debris, and found a small, injured creature huddled against a crumbling wall. Its eyes, shimmering with an otherworldly light, looked up at her, pleading for help. "What is it?" Mark, her second-in-command, asked, his voice a mix of caution and intrigue. "I don't know," Laura replied, kneeling to examine the creature. It had fur that glowed faintly and an aura that seemed to radiate warmth. "But we can't leave it here." Mark frowned. "We don't have the resources to care for an alien pet, Captain. We can barely take care of ourselves." Laura met his gaze, determination etched in her features. "This isn't just a pet. Look at it. There's something special about this creature. It could be a symbol of hope, something to unify us." The group murmured in agreement, their fear momentarily forgotten. An elder stepped forward, his eyes filled with wisdom and sorrow. "Legends speak of creatures like this, bringers of peace and unity. Perhaps this is a sign." Despite the doubts, Laura's resolve was unshakable. She gently picked up the creature, cradling it in her arms. "We move forward," she declared. "With this little one, we might find the hope we've been searching for." As they continued their journey, the creature seemed to revive slightly, its presence calming the group. The endless expanse of desolation gave way to the looming silhouette of a refugee space station. It was overcrowded, a place of desperation and tension. Entering the station, Laura approached the leaders, hoping to secure resources and safe passage. The station's commander, a stern-faced woman named Delia, eyed the alien pet suspiciously. "Why should we trust you?" Laura held up the creature, its glow softening the harsh lines on Delia's face. "This pet has already helped us find unity among our people. It can do the same here." Delia studied the pet for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, you can stay for now. But any trouble, and you're on your own." Relief washed over the refugees as they settled in, the pet's presence bringing unexpected peace. Children played, their laughter a rare and precious sound. The elders shared stories of ancient legends, weaving a tapestry of hope. However, not everyone was convinced. Mark confronted Laura in a quiet corner, his voice low and tense. "Are you sure about this, Captain? What if this pet brings more danger?" Laura sighed, her gaze fixed on the creature resting peacefully. "I don't know, Mark. But we've faced so much darkness. Maybe this is our chance to find light. We have to believe in something." Mark nodded slowly, his skepticism softening. "All right, Laura. Trust you. Let's see where this leads." With their newfound alliances and the alien pet's healing presence, the refugees dared to hope for a better future. Laura knew the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but for the first time in a long while, she felt a spark of optimism. Holding the creature close, she whispered, "We're going to make it. Together." The alien pet's eyes glowed brighter, as if understanding her words, and the group moved forward, united in their quest for a new home. Captain Laura Steele led her weary group through the bustling, chaotic space station. The air was thick with tension. Desperate faces surrounded them, each seeking solace in the midst of intergalactic turmoil. Laura clutched the small alien pet, its eyes reflecting a soft, calming glow. She knew this creature could be their key to survival. Captain Steele, the station's leader, a stern-faced alien named Rykun, approached them. "You're the one seeking refuge." Lara nodded. "We need supplies and safe passage. In return, we offer this." She gently lifted the pet, its shimmering eyes capturing Rykun's attention. Rykun's gaze softened. "What is it?" "A symbol of hope," Lara said. "It has the power to heal and unify." Rykun's eyes flickered with interest. "Follow me." In a dimly lit chamber, Lara and Rykun negotiated. The pet rested peacefully on Lara's lap, its presence soothing the room's tense atmosphere. "We can provide limited supplies," Rykun said, "but safe passage, that's harder." Lara leaned forward. "We're not asking for charity. We need allies. This pet can bring us together." Rykun hesitated, then nodded. "Very well. We will support you, but you must prove your worth." Back among the refugees, whispers of dissent grew louder. "Are we risking everything for a pet?" Mark, Lara's second-in-command, confronted her. His eyes burned with doubt. Lara stood firm. "This pet is more than it seems. It's our beacon." Mark crossed his arms. "What if you're wrong? We could lose everything." Lara met his gaze, unwavering. "Trust me. We've come this far together." Tensions simmered, but as the days passed, the pet's healing abilities became evident. A young alien, gravely injured, was brought to them. The pet, sensing the pain, nestled close, its eyes glowing brightly. Within hours, the alien's wounds began to mend. "This is our chance," Lara said, watching the miraculous recovery. "We can't afford to doubt now." The pet's growing bond with the children also transformed the group's dynamic. Laughter, once a distant memory, echoed through the corridors as the children played with their new companion. Joy, however brief, sparked a glimmer of hope. Lara gathered her team. "We've secured an alliance with Rykun's people. We move at dawn." Mark still looked skeptical but nodded. "Let's hope this gamble pays off." The next morning, as they prepared to depart, the pet nestled in Lara's arms. The station bustled with renewed energy. Refugees and aliens alike exchanged hopeful glances, united by the small creature's calming presence. Rykun approached, extending a clawed hand. "Safe travels, Captain. May this pet continue to guide you." Lara shook his hand firmly. "Thank you, Rykun. We won't forget this." As they boarded their ship, Lara looked at her team. "This is just the beginning. We'll find our home." The ship hummed to life, engines roaring. Lara watched the station disappear into the void, her resolve stronger than ever. The pet, sensing her determination, nuzzled closer, its warmth spreading through her. "We'll make it," Lara whispered, more to herself than anyone else. "We have to." With their new alliance and the pet's growing influence, the human refugees were ready to face whatever lay ahead. United by hope, they embarked on the next leg of their journey, each step bringing them closer to a new beginning. As the stars stretched out before them, Lara knew that together they could overcome any obstacle. The future, though uncertain, was filled with possibilities, and for the first time in a long while, it seemed bright. Commander Zorek's eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic image of the human refugee ship. His spies had confirmed the presence of the alien pet on board. "Prepare the ambush," he ordered, his voice cold and menacing. "I want that creature alive." The refugees moved cautiously through the asteroid field, the tension palpable. Captain Laura Steele scanned the radar, her heart pounding. "Keep your eyes sharp, everyone. This area is too quiet." Suddenly, alarms blared. "Incoming," shouted Mark, her second-in-command. A fleet of alien fighters emerged from the shadows, their weapons aimed directly at the refugee ship. "Evasive maneuvers," Lara barked. The ship shuddered as it dodged the first volley. "Prepare for combat. We can't let them take the pet." The battle erupted in a chaotic symphony of laser fire and explosions. Lara's team fought valiantly, their determination fueled by the pet's importance. But Zorak's forces were relentless, closing in on their prey. In the chaos, Lara noticed a group of Zorak's soldiers boarding the ship. "They're inside. Secure the pet," she commanded, grabbing her blaster and racing towards the storage bay. The storage bay was a scene of pandemonium. Zorak's soldiers, clad in dark armor, advanced with precision. The alien pet, now glowing faintly, cowered in a corner. Lara fired at the intruders, taking down 2 before they could react. "Mark, get to the control room and seal the doors," Lara shouted over the commotion. "We can't let them reach the pet." As Mark sprinted away, Lara faced the advancing soldiers alone. She took cover behind a crate, her mind racing. She had to protect the pet at all costs. The pet whimpered, its eyes reflecting fear and desperation. "For here," she yelled, drawing the soldiers' attention. They fired, and she returned fire, each shot deliberate and precise. One by one, the soldiers fell, but more kept coming. Just as Lara began to lose hope, the ship's intercom crackled to life. "Lara, we've got reinforcements incoming. Hold on." Mark's voice was a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Within moments, allied ships swooped in, attacking Zorak's forces with ferocity. The tide of battle shifted, and Zorak's soldiers began to retreat. Lara took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the bay. The pet was injured, its glowing dimmed, but it was alive. She rushed over, gently lifting it. "You're going to be okay," she whispered, her voice tender. In the aftermath, the refugees regrouped in the hidden base of their new allies. The mood was somber, yet determined. They had survived the ambush, but they knew the threat was far from over. Lara looked around at her team, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and resolve. "We need to take the fight to Zorak," she said, her voice steady. "We can't keep running. It's time to end this." Mark stepped forward, his eyes meeting Lara's. "We're with you, Captain. All the way." The pet, now resting in a makeshift medical bay, seemed to sense the renewed determination in the group. Its eyes, though weary, reflected a spark of hope. The refugees prepared for the final confrontation, their unity stronger than ever. Weapons were checked, strategies refined, and alliances solidified. Lara knew this was their last chance to secure a future for themselves and the pet. The silent vastness of space surrounded the makeshift fleet as it approached Zorak's stronghold, a massive asteroid fortress bristling with defenses. Captain Lara Steele, at the helm of the lead ship, glanced at the injured alien pet curled at her feet. Its eyes met hers, glowing with an ethereal light that seemed to imbue her with strength and resolve. "Approaching target," Mark reported, his voice steady but tense. "Activate the cloaking device. We need the element of surprise," Lara commanded. The ships shimmered and vanished from view as they moved into attack formation. The plan was simple but perilous. A two-pronged assault to distract Zorak's forces while a smaller team infiltrated the fortress to confront him directly. The pet's calming influence had bolstered their alliances, and now various alien species fought alongside the humans, united against a common enemy. The first wave hit. Explosions rocked the fortress as the fleet engaged Zorak's defenses. Amid the chaos, Lara's team slipped through an unguarded entry point, their movements swift and silent. Inside, the fortress was a labyrinth of cold steel and eerie shadows. "Stick to the plan," Lara whispered. "We find Zorak and end this." Navigating through narrow corridors, they encountered minimal resistance. It was as if Zorak was overconfident in his stronghold's impenetrability. They reached the central chamber, its vast expanse dominated by a high throne from which Zorak surveyed his domain. "So, you've come," Zorak's voice boomed, dripping with arrogance. He descended from his throne, his eyes gleaming with malice. "To what do I owe this audacious intrusion?" "Your reign of terror ends today," Lara declared, stepping forward, her weapon raised. The pet at her side let out a low growl, its wounds forgotten in the face of the impending battle. Zorak laughed, a cold, harsh sound. You think a broken band of refugees and a pet can challenge me? Foolish. The battle erupted. Zorak's guards stormed in, but the diverse coalition fought with tenacity. Blaster fire illuminated the chamber, and the air crackled with the intensity of combat. Lara engaged Zorak, their duel fierce and unrelenting. His strength was formidable, but her determination was unbreakable. As they clashed, Lara's thoughts raced. Every swing of her weapon, every dodge, was driven by the memory of their struggles and sacrifices. She knew she had to prevail, not just for herself, but for all those who had placed their hopes in her. Zorak lunged, and Lara parried, using his momentum against him. You underestimate the power of unity, she shouted, her voice echoing through the chamber. With a final decisive strike, she disarmed him, his weapon clattering to the floor. Zorak staggered back, shock and rage contorting his face. This isn't over, he hissed. Oh, it is, Lara replied, her voice cold and resolute. For all of us. With Zorak defeated, the fortress fell silent. The coalition forces secured the area, ensuring no remnants of Zorak's tyranny remained. Lara turned to the pet, now glowing softly, a beacon of hope. Its presence had been a catalyst, uniting species against a common threat. Back on the ship, the refugees and their allies celebrated their victory. The journey ahead was uncertain, but they faced it together, stronger and more united than ever. As they set course for a new home on a tranquil alien planet, Lara reflected on their odyssey. The pet nestled at her feet, a symbol of their collective resilience and newfound unity. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, ready to build a future filled with hope and peace. The stars stretched out before them, endless and inviting, as they ventured into the unknown, united by the bonds forged in the crucible of conflict.